What is up, ladies and gents? You know what time. What is up, ladies and gents? In today's video, we're going to be talking all about Zebec. We're going to be discussing what's been happening with the price here over the past few days. We're going to be giving you guys a price prediction for where I think Zebec is going to go over the next few days, as well as my 2025 target. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, if you're a new viewer, then welcome to the channel. If you do like this sort of content, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you all here. On top of all of that as well, if you're looking for a great place to buy or trade Zebec, then look no further than the MEX exchange. This is the exchange that I use for all my trading because they have some of the lowest fees. They don't require KYC to get started, and for a limited time only, they're giving every new user who signs up with the link down below a free $20 to get started. So if you want to make use of this offer, click in the link in the description down below, fill out your details. It takes less than a minute to do so. Deposit some crypto or fiat into your account, and then you can get started with this bonus straight away. Of course, on top of normal trading for Zebec, they even have futures trading here where you can trade Zebec with up to 20 times leverage. So again, if you want to make use of this offer, click in the link in the description down below. As always, thank you so much for your support. Let's get started in this video. Diving straight into the price chart here on Zebec, we're looking at Zebec on the 1 hour chart right now. And honestly, guys, I'm not even exaggerating when I say that Zebec has probably one of the most bullish charts in the whole of crypto right now. Of course, to give you some context to this, if you have a look at what's been happening over the past few days, of course, we're on the 1 hour chart, so this is fairly short-term stuff. Yesterday, you guys can see that we had this drop here in Zebec. This was not a Zebec drop, this was just a whole market drop because we had big news yesterday. Bybit was hacked. And of course, if you're not seeing the news on Bybit, then basically this Bybit hack was the largest theft of cryptocurrency in the whole world. $1.4 billion was stolen from the Bybit exchange. None other than North Korea. That's right, North Korea stole 1.4 billion from Bybit in Ethereum as well. Of course, the name of the group is called Lazarus Group. So if you want to search for more information about it, just type in Lazarus Group and you'll find out about them. Of course, this is absolutely major. The situation has stabilized and Bybit are processing all withdrawals. Their exchange is working just fine. So that's kind of settled a little bit. But for something this large, 1.4 billion in Ethereum stolen from an exchange, and the fact that the markets have reacted the way they have reacted, I think is very, very strong. I said this in my previous video about XCN as well, but I really truly believe we are closer to a general market bottom in crypto than we are to a top. Of course, there's fear in the markets at the moment. We've just had this Bybit hack and most cryptos saw quite a sharp drop, but we did see quite a lot of recovery today. Most of the cryptos, as you guys can see, for example, are in the green. So this is really, really strong in my opinion. And of course, particularly here on Zebec, we saw a really bullish price reaction to that dip that we had from the Bybit news. Here on Zebec, we saw nearly a 30% upside after the prices got down to this 0.145 level here on Zebec. Of course, this was an extremely bullish market reaction, more bullish than most other cryptos out there, showing us that there's a lot of buyers here, but also because we saw this extremely important level here on Zebec tested as a support once more. If I draw the line going across like this, you guys can see clearly that this has been a resistance for the price now on Zebec throughout its entire lifetime. Of course, as you guys can see, on 3 separate occasions, the price perfectly came up to test this as a resistance. The price came up to this line here, bounced back off it in the downwards direction. And now recently, just over the past few days here on Zebec, we've crossed the line to the upside here. Of course, we've broken out of this long-term resistance with a lot of momentum. The prices have retraced a bit in the shorter term. If we go on the 1 hour chart, you guys can clearly see that this drop in Zebec price was a test of this resistance, which is now a support, a very important area that buyers were eyeing. As soon as the prices came down to this level, we saw immense buying pressure that sent the prices straight up. So we know for a fact that this tells us that this is an extremely strong report. So this tells us that this is an extremely strong support for the price here. If we see the prices come back down to this level, for example, this would be a very good place to set a buy order here on Zebec, because we could expect something similar to happen in the future. Of course, not only do we have this level, this beautiful flip of this long-term resistance in play, we also have this very, very nice pattern as well in the shorter term. As you guys can see, we also have these set of resistances and supports that we are monitoring here on the shorter term. Let me just get rid of this one here for a little bit of clarity. You guys can see that we've got a resistance going across. You can see that the price has come up to somewhere around this resistance level on multiple different occasions now. I'm not going to circle them all, but I can see at least 6 tests of this resistance up here. We've also got the support, which has been tested as a resistance first and foremost. The prices came above it and it's been tested as a support 4 separate times. So not only do we have a strong resistance, we have a strong support, and both of these trend lines are parallel to each other. And of course, we can treat this as some sort of bull flag because the price going into this consolidation area in the first place was fairly parabolic. And so what we could see here on Zebec, this is a very, very bullish setup, is that if we come up to this resistance once more and we start to see a convincing breakout to the upside, we start to see an increased momentum, we start to see increase in trading volume here in Zebec, this could push the prices above this resistance. We could expect to see a price target here on Zebec of the distance of the parabolic move going into the flag in the first place, where we drag this measuring tool to where we see a breakout here on Zebec. Let's just say that occurs over the next day. Then we would expect to see a price target here on Zebec of up to 0.35 cents. So that would be 102% trade to the upside if we see a breakout from this bull flag. That would be a trade of 102%. Of course, guys, if you're looking for a place to trade, click on the link in the description down below to try out MEX. And of course, the nicest thing about this bull flag as well is the fact that generally speaking, when we see a bull flag respected, when we see the breakout from the bull flag, we expect the steepness of the parabolic move going into the bull flag to kind of be replicated to the upside as well. So what we expect to see is some quick price action that takes the prices up to this level. This is not a slow move here. We're not expecting to see this target in the next few months, for example. This is something that should happen, as you can see there, the very latest, the start of March, which is about a week's time from now. So we'd expect to see, if this bull flag is respected, to hit 3.6 cents here. If this bull flag is respected to hit 0.36 cents here by the start of March. So not only do we have a price target, we have a time frame that we would expect to hit that price target in. Of course, that means that if you're looking to trade this pattern, make sure you keep your eyes on this upper trend line here. If we see a convincing breakout, this could be the trade of a lifetime for you. Of course, on top of that as well, what we've also seen here on Zebec, if you see my previous videos, you will know about this, but if I draw that resistance once again here on the charts, what I think we have seen here is a very convincing accumulation pattern. To be specific, a wick-off accumulation here on the chart. Of course, the duration of this was from June 2024 all the way to February 2025. So this was a long-term accumulation, 8 months in the making here on Zebec, where prices traded within this range that kind of looks a little bit like this. If I get that wick-off schematic on the screen, just look at it visually compared to how this accumulation looks. There's a lot of similarities. Of course, the wick-off accumulation also details some of the features that we could expect to see in an accumulation. For example, that SC down in the bottom left, called the selling climax. As you can see here on Zebec, we had a clear selling climax, which in my opinion is this. Prices came down extremely steeply and looked like a capitulation where people had given up on Zebec and prices went to all-time lows there. So this was our selling climax, and that started off the accumulation period. Of course, we had an extremely long range where buyers and sellers were just trading each other, and we had a convincing breakout from the upper resistance. Now, when we see these accumulation periods and a successful breakout to the upside, we would expect to see the price target of this accumulation period to be exactly the same as the price target if we treated this as a double bottom. So let's say this is a double bottom pattern that we're seeing here on Zebec. We've broken to the upside from this pattern. Now, the price target, the first price target that we look at is the distance between the top resistance there and the bottom resistance. And if we drag this to where we saw the breakout, you guys can see that the minimum price target here for Zebec lies at 0.27 cents. This is the first price target that I would expect to be reached as a result of this accumulation pattern. But like I said, since this is a long-term accumulation pattern, I would expect at least double this price target to be hit. Now, if we get to the 0.27 level with a lot of momentum and the prices continue to head up there, for example, as a result of that bull flag I showed you in the shorter term, which actually had a higher price target. So if we get to this 0.27 cents and we fly past it, then this up here would be our next price target. That would sit at 0.52 cents here on Zebec. Of course, right now from where the price is, that is a 201% upside here on Zebec. In my opinion, we have a really strong support as we have seen at 0.145 here on the charts. So at the worst case scenario, in my opinion, we've got roughly a 15% downside here on the price if we retest that support and it holds once again. So for me, this is a very, very good risk to reward scenario here. I do think Zebec is going to be going a lot higher. This is a very convincing accumulation pattern, in my opinion, one of the best ones that I've seen in crypto for a while. And of course, we are seeing that bull flag in the shorter term as well, which I also really, really like. Of course, on top of all of that as well, we've seen a lot of strength over the past few days, whereas other coins such as XCN have taken a bit more of a dive. As you guys can see here, the price of XCN has just been a downtrend now for the past few weeks. Zebec, although it has been in a bit of a downtrend, has not been anywhere near as painful as the one on XCN. If you have a look at Swift coin as well, another one we used to cover on this channel, of course, it's been a bit unfortunate because it's been in another painful downtrend here. You guys can see that the downtrends on XCN and Swift coin have been a lot more severe than the one on Zebec. So that really tells me that there's a lot of diamond hands here on Zebec. Although the markets have generally been bearish for these types of coins, Zebec has been holding up extremely well. So I'm pretty excited to see what comes from this in Zebec. Of course, there's a lot of bullish indicators here, not many bearish ones whatsoever. So really excited to see what happens. Like I say, as a summary, just watch out for what happens when the price approaches this level. At the moment, that sits at 0.18 cents. If we get close to there, keep your eyes on the screen. A convincing breakout could be taking us a lot higher here on Zebec. So really excited to see what happens. Of course, that's been a mouthful, so I'm going to wrap the video up here. But of course, do let me know down in the comments if you're holding any Zebec. Let me know what your personal price targets are for Zebec in 2025. Just to add as well, since we haven't got that much price data here on Zebec, my price target for 2025 is this level here at 0.51 to 0.52 cents. Of course, if we get up there, if we see some more price data come in, of course, if we get up to these levels, we get more price data in, and then we can make more accurate forecasts on how high Zebec is going to be going in 2025. Of course, if we get to this level, this is price discovery. So really the sky is the limit anyway. We're going to be making new all-time highs here anyway. So we can forecast upwards from that point forward. But for now, let's enjoy the ride up to these levels first and foremost. If we can get there, then we can talk about how high Zebec could really go in 2025. So again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video.